Oh, no, okay.
Yeah. Old man can't see without his glasses on. All right, ready to roll?
Yep.
Welcome to Decaf, Beacon Center's weekly podcast. Taylor here, joined by Mark, and we're back in our office for the first, well, I guess we were in our office a few weeks ago, but we weren't in our office last week, and we won't be next week. Next week we're going to Memphis, which we'll talk about later, but lots been going on this week, so I guess we should dive in.
Yep, sounds good.
All right, topic one. The word on everyone's mind, impeachment.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
I am over it. I feel like for the last few years, all people have talked about is when are we going to impeach Trump? And I just think, and this is, people can get mad if you want to get mad at this. I just think that they just finally found something they think they can grab onto, and they're just going to jump on it, and it's just in time for an election. Okay? I said it.
I just have different feelings about this. First of all, you are right. They have literally tried to find everything. I mean, they talked about impeachment with the Russia thing, which we basically turned out to be nothing.
Yes, we're just crying wolf.
But, so I mean, they have cried wolf every time they're like, oh, tax cuts, impeachment. Like, they are using impeachment for everything they don't like that Trump does. And in fairness, the Republicans did that to Obama a little bit too. Like, they did that, like, oh, we should impeach him. He didn't follow this rule. Fast and Furious, impeach. So I think we need to get over this impeachment epidemic generally. It's like the other guy or other woman won.
Right.
Let them govern.
The fact that Hillary took to Twitter and was like, it's time to impeach them. I'm like, dude, you do know that if he gets impeached, you won't be president. Like, it'll be Pence if he's gone.
I think she has a pretty good idea about what impeachment is based on her personal history.
All I'm saying is, like, it's just kind of like, what do you, like, A, what do you care? B, I thought you were irrelevant, like, years ago.
But I do want to say one thing.
I know that's really mean.
Yes.
I'm being really mean right now.
She's not irrelevant forever. But, like, let me talk about this real quick. I think this Ukraine thing specifically, the idea is that we should not jump to conclusions either way. Like, I see these people are saying, oh, Trump's definitely innocent. He definitely did nothing wrong. It's like, well, we don't know that. And we also don't know that it's a quid pro quo. I mean, all we know is, like, he's like, oh, yeah, you should investigate Biden, which, like, I don't, maybe that's not super ethical. I don't really know, but I don't think it's illegal from my understanding. Now, if he withheld aid, which in the first place, we shouldn't be giving them aid at all.
Boom.
But second point, we should stop giving every foreign government aid, and we should try to pay down our deficit of, like, $500 billion
trillion dollars. Yeah, $1 $trillion.
I just 21 trillion, but that's
whatever. You think it's just like around there? I mean, it's fine. It's fine. That's like how we do math around here. I think that you're completely right. I'm just kind of. It's kind of like how I am about climate change, which we'll talk about in a minute. But I kind of just want someone who doesn't have an opinion to tell me what's right or wrong.
Yeah, well, yeah, you want a neutral.
That's just kind of where I'm at these days, and it's not happening. Everything's political.
Yeah.
Everyone has an opinion. Everybody's got some emotion. I'm over it. I just want someone to tell me and you can say, well, that's what Pelosi's doing. She's telling her committees to determine whether he's going to be impeached or not. You know what those committees are made out of? Politicians who are going to make it political. There's just no neutral, unbiased, balanced way of knowing what's happening.
And look,
I am cynical against
They are
human.
looking at impeachment. They're not actually necessarily doing it. They're investigating it, which I think everyone in the House voted for. So it wasn't just now the thing is, impeachment doesn't mean leaving office too. People don't get that. You need, I think, you need to vote a majority and then 2/3, which they're not going to get unless there's some terrible, terrible crime.
All right, boom, done. Next topic, Bluff City Law. Okay.
Oh, yes.
So Mark and I started this whole podcast thing. In our very first episode, we talked about Bluff City Law getting money from the city of Memphis and the state of Tennessee and how big of a waste of money it was. And we have been beating that drum for months. Well, the reviews are in, folks.
The first episode was this week.
Yeah.
So
first episode came out this week. It was a really big deal for Memphis.
And a lot of people in Memphis watched.
They were excited about it. I think maybe only Memphis watched.
There was really just maybe half of Memphis and nobody else in the country. And they spent so much money.
So much money. It's like literally embarrassing,
but
y'all.
They have advertised the hell out of this. I've seen it everywhere. I went to Santa Monica and there's a Bluff City Law sign up there.
You're lying.
No, I'm not. Like in LA, there's a Watch Bluff City
Yikes.
Law. The reviews were awful because it's literally the 500 million show made like this with a bunch of washed up D-list actors.
What's the guy's name? The guy.
I know who he
played Matt Santos on West Wing.
Yeah, I know.
Who was like the new president, and it just didn't go so well.
He's actually a really good actor. He's in a lot of stuff, but like
he seems perfectly fine.
He's a C D-list actor.
But we were talking about it in staff meeting. We went down a rabbit hole in staff meeting talking about Bluff City Law. So it's a father-daughter legal team.
I didn't even watch, by the way, because I want to see how bad it truly was. Now, I wasn't going to watch it opening.
Well, I mean, I don't really care if it was bad or not. The deal is, it was given all this money. It was hyped up to be something that it ended up not being because the people didn't watch it.
Because the government's involved. That's the point. It does matter if it's good or not.
Government makes everything worse.
People watching, like, if they have a great show, why do we need to invest in it? They're like,
That's
no,
true.
we're going to make money because we have a great show. Same thing with Nashville. Nashville had a decent viewership, I guess, and they kind of had a cult following, but they did not do well on ratings. That's why it had to go off air twice. So the idea,
and the city just kept dishing it out. Maybe if we'll throw classic government, if we just like throw money at this problem, it'll get better. No.
Oh, well, you're throwing your left hand. That's kind of a weird thing to do. Yeah, maybe
28 years and I never knew I did that.
Maybe you're left-handed. Don't know. Do you normally throw money at people? Do you make it rain?
No,
okay.
Yeah. If anything, I would need people to give me money, not me give away money. But no, maybe I'm left-handed.
But this is already better than the plot line of Bluff City Law. But
the saga of Taylor.
The show is going to be a disaster. We knew from the start, just hearing this. And again, if a show is good enough, it doesn't need tax dollars.
Agreed.
Why does it need, if a soccer team is going to make you money, it doesn't need tax dollars.
Shots fired. If you start talking about stadium subsidies and sports teams.
That's the point of everything we believe in.
I'm going to get hyped.
Like, look, if it's going to make money, then great, do it. You don't need government money. If it's not going to make money, then don't do it because it's a bad investment. It's one or the other. There should be no government involvement in private industry in that way.
Tell us how you really
I'm so mad now. I'm yelling.
Mark is like so hyped up. Our whole office is going to be standing outside the door when we get done.
Bluff City Law really brings the worst out of me. I do like that guy though. We got to figure out his name.
Okay, well, I don't know his name, but we're also going to be in Memphis next week, and we're going to ask people about it, and we just got buzzed on Mark's rant. Okay, the third thing we want to talk about is something that I just really like. It's really bothered with my heartstrings this week is climate change, and specifically that 13-year-old girl.
I think she's 16.
Okay. She looks 13. The girl that talked about Greta, whatever her name is. Here's my thing. I feel really bad when politicians bring children up to try to make an emotional plea and all of Twitter lights up the kid. Okay? She's a kid. She feels strongly about something. I get it. I think it was cruel for them to parade her out and have her do this emotional speech because they knew it was going to happen. They knew people were going to light her up. But at the same time, I don't think that climate change has stolen her dreams and her future.
No.
Okay, I just have varying opinions on this.
But let me say this. There's the same people who want 16-year-olds to be able to vote. And guess what? If they are old enough to vote and they want to parade themselves out in public like that, then, I mean, you're going to get some...
People are going to
shout about it.
You're
putting yourself in a public forum. Now, I think that people were so mean to her. Like
it was unnecessary.
It
made me so upset.
It's like the way she looked and stuff. Like, come on. Like,
you
have to be better than that.
She looks like a cute teenage girl. Like, she's just a little girl. Like...
But I will say this, too. Like, I feel like people on the right, especially the far right, like, made fun of the way Michelle Obama looked, too. It's like, what's wrong with you guys? Like,
and Michelle Obama had killer arms and she dressed really well, so I don't want to hear it. Like,
but it's
if we can't...
We don't need to make fun of the way people look because we disagree with them.
Right.
And now, look, at the same point, too, it's like the people on the left don't need to tout her as some hero. She's a 16-year-old girl.
Let's be real. She's a 16-year-old girl. That's something to say.
She exaggerated almost everything she said. She didn't use facts.
It was a little bit dramatic.
It was dramatic. I'm like, that's fine. She can do it. I'm not going to get too upset or excited about it. There's a 16-year-old girl saying something that she believes in that I'm sure that her parents, I mean, at 16, I know no 16-year-olds, I would take their opinion seriously on any kind of world issues.
That's true.
Including myself. I don't even know what, I'm probably talking about the Jazz still.
Oh my gosh, when I was 16, all I talked about was Blink-182 and like...
I wish you would stop talking about them now. This is it's too much of them. But like, this
12 years later.
There's both sides. Let's, on the people on the right, stop insulting the girl. Let her do what she wants. I mean, yes, when you make yourself a public figure, you open yourself to that, but like, there's common decency.
There is common decency. I think that's what it all comes down to. Do I agree with
people who call Trump all these names? Like, you're calling this little girl a name.
I know. Like, I don't agree with anything that she said, but I respect the fact that she has something to say and she's putting herself out there, just putting her opinion out there. You go, girl. I disagree with you completely.
Fact check her. We should fact check her.
We should fact check her.
That was actually correct, but like, and again, as somebody who doesn't know about climate change, I mean, obviously the world is getting warmer. I don't know the cause of it. I don't know what's going to fix it. I know that she gave an emotional plea, and I know that if she cared about fixing it, she talked about nuclear, and she talked about things that actually could fix the problem.
Last night, I was actually on my phone, and I Googled, will a scientist please tell me what is happening with the climate?
When you Google that?
Yeah, I Google questions a lot. History. My Google history is so questionable. I just Google whatever's on my mind.
Sometimes okay. You're lucky. I save myself embarrassment.
Oh my gosh. LOL. Okay, so the last thing we want to talk about is movie sequels. So Jurassic Park just announced, or Jurassic World, or whatever the Jurassic thing is these days. The third one is coming out, and they're bringing back the whole original cast, which is great. But I brought this up to Mark because I have very strong feelings about movie sequels. Very strong feelings. And so we're going to give our best and worst movie sequels, and then we actually had an argument about one that we might get back into. So my best movie sequel series was the Toy Story series. I thought Toy Story 2 was amazing. They introduced Jessie. I dressed up as Jessie for Halloween that year. I'm a big fan of the Toy Story franchise.
Who was the weird guy who had the bad toy? What was his name? Like Spike or something?
Sid,
yeah. There's an NFL quarterback named Derek Carr that looks just like him. So they always have these.
It's kind of terrifying.
Yeah, it's not great.
I liked Toy Story so much.
I've seen the first Toy Story. I don't think I've seen the other.
Okay,
I was an adult when they came out.
I liked it so much that I, for the first one, multiple relatives gave me Toy Story on VHS for Christmas that year. Like, I liked it that much.
Somebody's getting old over here.
Well, the third one was when I was a senior in high school.
Recently,
Yeah. And then Forky in the most recent one. Anyway, go ahead.
My favorite one was the Mighty Ducks trilogy.
I can get behind that.
Because the first one was good. The second one was great, and critics kind of panned the third one, but I like that. Although I don't understand how the ones who won the whole like junior Goodwill games, and then they were on the JV high school team. Like, how would they not be varsity players after beating the entire world at stuff?
Well, the world gave them a hard time, and you liked it. Nickelback is also one of your top bands. Okay. So anyway, on to transitioning into what we hate. So Grease, the first Grease, the original, I thought was like a work of art. Grease 2 was miserable.
And that's kind of thought of as being a really terrible sequel, right? Don't people make fun of that?
Yeah, it was so bad. And I even like Michelle Pfeiffer, and that was terrible.
I thought the first one was bad, too.
Oh my gosh, the first one was a work of art. People back me up out there.
Really? Okay, I didn't know that. I guess I just know, like, the really, really bad ones. Like, the American Pie. I guess the American Pie sequels, like, the first and second one were okay, but then they have, like, a small person run, like the Naked Mile, I think it's called. Like, it's gotten weird, and I didn't necessarily love the first one. It is, I know, like, it's the same thing as we talked about Bring It On.
Oh yeah, Bring It On again and again and again, and All or Nothing, and Win It to Win It.
If you go to Blockbuster, which obviously anyone here can go to, but they have there's like 10 rows of it.
Yes.
And then when they go
Step Up, Bring It On, American Pie
for TV, that's when it's over.
Yeah.
Like stop doing it.
It's
also,
over.
Transformers, right? Those are bad.
I've never seen any Transformers movies.
Have you seen the Fast and the Furious?
I've never seen any Fast and Furious movies. I'm a rom-com kind of girl. I like comedies. I like dramas. I'm not an action girl.
You can't really do sequels to rom-coms, though.
No, you can't.
It's like, okay, they fell in love and they got married. Like, what else is there? They got divorced and then they fell back in love. Like, I don't really know.
That would be bleak, Mark. That would be really
the dark
bleak.
version of, like, things go bad.
Well, we talked about, also, I said, what was terrible was The Hangover. And Mark said that the third Hangover movie was good.
Maybe not better than the first, but very close.
0% chance. The first is the funniest movie I've ever seen in my life.
You don't know. You can't say 0.1.
Okay. 0.1%. 0.1%. Okay. So we're going to end on Mark getting 0.1% of a point.
Watch The Hangover 3. Don't see the second one.
Okay. We're going to be in Memphis next week. I don't know where we're going to be recording in Memphis. If any of you out there are listening and have a suggestion for me so I don't have to like Yelp or Google Maps search where we should go, let us know where we should be recording in Memphis, and we'll see you next week.